Good morning. Welcome to the second episode of Coffee with the Colonel. Today is Friday, April 3rd. My name is SMA Colonel Fount, SMA High School. Today we will be answering the question, what is social emotional learning and why does SMA include it in their curriculum? Teachers and educators in general have known for a long time that the environment a child is raised in can affect their ability to learn and succeed, both positive and negative. This has been a part of education for many, many years, and it goes back to the theoretical discussion of nature versus nurture. You know, whether or not a child's ability to succeed is based upon their genes or based upon how they are raised and the environment they are raised in. Recently, a great deal of recognition has been given to the effect of something called ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences. I would like you to, when you get a chance, I would like to direct you to a TED Talk by Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris. She is a pediatrician who has devoted most of her professional life on the study of ACEs and their effect on people and how those adverse childhood experiences and the trauma affects health across a lifetime. You'll find it very interesting, and it'll really kind of drive home the concept of ACEs and how your environment can affect your ability to succeed. Let me give you some examples of some ACEs. Many children may have adverse childhood experiences in their life, such as having experienced a traumatic loss of a loved one, like a parent, alcoholism or substance abuse in the home, tragic accident that resulted in an injury or even death, and usually it's an accident that they were directly involved in, an experience of domestic violence or abuse, sexual harassment or assault, suicide by a family member or a childhood friend, sudden separation from a parent or sibling, any number of these, and these are just a few examples of adverse experiences children may face and must try to process in their minds. Now, you might be thinking, well, my child hasn't had any of those experiences. Well, let's think about the effect of sitting next to the child in the same class, or several kids in the same class that have ACEs. Let's think about how that affects their ability to learn within that class, which then affects the classes, the community's ability to learn. Now, I'd also like you to consider this current COVID-19 pandemic and the upheaval it has been wreaking, considering the fears and the anxieties going through our minds, let alone the minds of our impressionable youth. Fears such as, will my family be okay? What about grandpa? He's kind of old. That student that sits 2 rows over in English class, he's afraid of his dad, and now he has to be at home in isolation with him all the time. I hope he's okay. Should I tell someone? Anxiety. How long is this going to last? Will things ever get back to normal? School is hard enough without this distance learning, this e-learning thing. Mom lost her job. I don't know what we're going to do. So what does all of this have to do with social emotional learning and the education profession focusing on mental health of their students? It is my belief that the social wellness, the emotional wellness, the mental wellness, and the physical wellness far surpass the need to conjugate a verb, write a 5-paragraph essay, solve a quadratic equation, or recite the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. Yes, all of these skills and knowledges are important, but without our charges, our youth being in the right mind, spirit, and body, how will they be able to put their education to use and effectively affect the world around them? So how does social emotional learning work? Well, first of all, it's a very individualized process, but it can also be done within a community. And it's strongest when it is community-based. And that community can be as big or small as whatever works for each individual child. Building relationships is one of the foundations of social emotional learning. Building confidence to be able to talk to someone about the issues that are going on in your life or within the life of the others around you. Building that community where you can have those discussions and you can work together to come to positive solutions. And providing resources. This is what we do in social emotional learning. How do we do it? How do we get the kids to be successful with it? We need to get them involved. They need to be involved in some type of extracurricular activity, a club, their church, anything where they are building those relationships, building community, and building confidence. Advisory class, once a week, usually on Fridays. We have a class where a small group, same group meets all year long, and they discuss these types of things. They discuss fears and anxieties, and they build relationships with each other, and they build a strong community to where they can have these discussions. Mental health referrals. This is something our teachers and our staff, and you parents, we have the resources to help you, or we have the resources within our community to help you. We can make those mental health referrals with your assistance and help that child succeed. Mentorships. There are informal and formal mentorships. We have formal mentorship programs that we offer within the school. We also have informal mentorships where you have that one teacher that is your go-to person, right? Or that one office worker, or that one administrator or counselor. That is a mentorship. And our best resource are teachers and staff. They're not in this business because they make a lot of money. They're in this business because they care about kids. And they definitely care about our SMA cadets. Even with all this, we still need your help, especially in this time of social distancing, isolations, stay-at-home orders. First, if something's going on and you need immediate help, we encourage you to call 911. However, if it's just something you need some assistance with, please reach out to someone on the staff. It could be me, it could be one of my fellow administrators, a counselor, it could be a teacher, it can be that office lady that you talk to every time when you call in about attendance or whatever. We can help. As a family, as an SMA family, we can definitely persevere and overcome these circumstances that face us. And together, we can assure that our cadets, their families, and our faculty and staff are socially and emotionally well, healthy, and safe. One last thing about ACEs. I think we can all safely say right now that every one of our children has at least one ACE. And we can probably call that ACE COVID-19. And they're going to live with the trauma that they're going through right now for the rest of their lives. I want to thank you for joining me on the second episode of Coffee with the Colonel. I hope you see me next week with a special guest that will help us with our physical, personal wellness. Stay safe and well, and see you next week on Coffee with the Colonel.